There are different degrees of conflict in the rap world. Some disputes remain in music, while others spill over into social media, interviews, and subtle jabs in lyrics. But this situation, it's just escalated to a whole new level. It all began with a leak, some dubious documents appearing online, alleging that 50 Cent had snitched. This wasn't just idle gossip. It was presented as undeniable, official betrayal. However, as soon as it surfaced online, rumors began circulating that suggested something more sinister. People weren't just doubting 50, they were also questioning J. Prince. The buzz on the streets, that paperwork, might have been fabricated, a complete setup aimed at discrediting 50 Cent. If that's the case, J. Prince didn't merely start a feud, he declared war. Hello everyone, welcome to Celebrity Cookies. Please don't forget to subscribe and comment your thoughts about the video. I hope to see you in our next cookies. 50 Cent isn't like most rappers. He doesn't back down, doesn't play it safe, and certainly doesn't tolerate disrespect. If you try to label him a snitch, he won't just retaliate. He'll go after everything you've got. Your reputation, your business, your name. Let's break this down step by step, because when you look at the facts, it starts to seem like J. Prince might be the one playing with fire, and he's about to get burned. Imagine this. 50 is out here calling out Big Meech, consistently pushing the idea that the BMF icon is a snitch. People are already skeptical of him for dragging someone who's incarcerated. Then, out of the blue, J. Prince appears, brandishing documents, trying to turn the tables. You want to talk about snitching? He seems to be saying. What about you, 50? But here's where it gets messy. Several insiders, some claiming to have seen the documents, say they don't hold up. The dates are incorrect. Names are misspelled. Even the formatting looks off. And the worst part, there's no credible source to back them up. It reeks of fabrication. Once people started connecting the dots, the narrative shifted quickly. Suddenly, it's being suggested that J. Prince may have pulled a fast one, fabricating federal documents just to take 50 Cent down a notch. That's not just petty, it's dangerous. But 50 didn't back down. He went straight for J. Prince, calling him a fraud, a scam artist, a paper gangster pretending to be legitimate, a man who hides behind a legacy he didn't even create. Now, the entire internet is tuned in like it's the Super Bowl of rap feuds. Because if 50 really didn't snitch, what is J. Prince trying to achieve by spreading these lies? And if he did snitch, why fabricate the evidence? This isn't just a conflict between two individuals. It's about power, control, and who gets to shape the narrative in the rap industry. 50 isn't on the defensive. He's flipping the script, putting J. Prince in the spotlight and revealing decades of rumors that never made it to the mainstream. The scams, the rigged dice games, the culture of checking in, the extortion, the unresolved issues surrounding rappers who never returned home from Houston. 50 is laying it all bare. He's not the only one involved. Top 5, another figure in the rap scene, has added to the tension. He publicly revealed that Big Meech reached out to him via direct message to connect. Top 5 rejected the overture, calling Meech a rat and tagging 50 Cent as if issuing a challenge. That kind of confrontation isn't random, it's a clear message, and it opened the floodgates for everyone. J. Prince, naturally, wasn't going to remain passive. He responded with his characteristic calm, which always carries an underlying threat, a calculated intimidation masked by smooth words. He accused 50 of seeking attention by trying to undermine more prominent figures. Ironically, that's the same criticism that has been leveled at J. Prince for years. This is a man who has built his reputation on silence, fear, and whispers. He enters a room without needing to say a word. His name alone serves as a warning. However, that aura of mystery is beginning to crack. Behind the scenes, troubling stories are emerging, stories that J. Prince would prefer to keep hidden. People are stepping forward, claiming he has been running scams disguised as protection. Rappers arriving in Houston are told they must check in or face consequences. But check in with whom? And for what reason? Protection? From whom exactly? When you dig deeper, it starts to look like a setup, as if you're paying for safety from the very individuals demanding the money in the first place. We're talking about $50,000 protection fees just to land safely in Houston. And it's not from the city. It's from those with mob connections. Take NBA YoungBoy, for instance. In 2020, he bypassed the check-in process while in Houston, and shortly after, his home was targeted. Thieves made off with the keys to his Rolls-Royce, McLaren, and Bentley. His chains were stolen, and his house was ransacked. The messy part? The robbers reportedly reached out to J. Prince to make amends. That's right. J. Prince took to Instagram to announce he was returning YoungBoy's stolen items. But YoungBoy wasn't convinced. He called out the entire situation, told Jay Prince to keep his keys, and warned him to stay out of his affairs. In other words, he sensed the setup. It wasn't a favor, it was a power play. Classic extortion. Young boy expressed his frustrations publicly, stating that if Jay Prince wanted to communicate, he could have called him directly. Instead, Jay Prince chose to go online and broadcast everything. That's not mediation, that's seeking attention. And this wasn't the first incident. Before young boy, there was Duke the jeweler. He attended one of Jay Prince's notorious dice games and walked away with a hefty $100,000 in winnings. However, he never made it to his car. He was ambushed, shot, and robbed, dead, with his money and jewelry taken. People immediately turned their suspicion toward Jay Prince and his circle, feeling that the whole situation was suspicious, as if Duke wasn't meant to win. When questioned, Jay Prince claimed he didn't even know Duke and insisted it was all a coincidence. But coincidences like this don't happen frequently around the same individual. Then Takeoff's tragedy struck, another heartbreaking incident linked to these high-stakes games. Another life lost too soon while associated with Jay Prince. The rumors intensified, with people questioning, why do rappers who skip check-ins or win too much at dice games keep facing these fates? Now, Jay Prince is accusing 50 Cent of snitching? Considering his own history is filled with questionable dealings, it's ironic. 50 Cent sees right through it. He labeled it for what it is, a diversion. A desperate attempt by someone engulfed in controversy to pull another down for relief. But here's the twist. Jay Prince may have underestimated 50's precision. This isn't a novice trying to make a name. This is 50 Cent, the man who survived 9 gunshots, ruined his foes financially, and built a thriving empire from nothing. He's been strategizing while Jay is still playing a simpler game. So what's Jay Prince's next move? He doubles down. He removes the fabricated documents, but not before blogs capture screenshots. It's too late. The internet has a long memory. Then he supposedly claims he founded BMF, not Big Meech or Terry but him. Another attempt to rewrite history and embed himself further into the legacies of others. But people are no longer convinced. The facade is crumbling. The supposed king of Houston appears more like an emperor with no clothes. As the situation develops, the rap community is watching intently. This isn't merely a conflict between 50 and Jay Prince. It's a battle of established power against emerging resilience. Legacy versus autonomy. Control versus disorder. 50 isn't backing down. He's applying pressure from all sides, challenging the check-in system, questioning the dice games, and exposing intimidation tactics. He's making it clear Jay Prince is not invulnerable. And the public, they're starting to wake up. The narrative is changing. Whispers are evolving into open discussions. The illusion is fading, because when the person shouting snitch is surrounded by rigged games, deceased rappers, dubious setups, and alleged extortion, perhaps the real question isn't whether 50 snitched. Maybe the real question is, what is Jay Prince truly concealing? And if this fake paperwork was indeed fabricated, who assisted him? Who was aware? And why was it so easily disseminated? This situation runs deep, and with 50 Cent at the eye of the storm, it's clear he's not retreating. He has the evidence, the influence, and the determination to dismantle everything if necessary. So what do you think? Is Jay Prince holding a losing hand? Or is this merely the onset of a new conflict in hip-hop? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on the story.